and I'll start talking about it in a sec.
And a lot of those people that do chess streaming, they do other kinds of streaming too.
Right.
They're playing other games. They're stuff that I don't understand at all.
and and welcome to the Mechanics. Welcome to the Mechanics Institute, everyone. I'm Abel Telemontes, chess director, and joining me is Grandmaster Nick DeFermian and FIDE Master Paul Whitehead. And we are here for the final round of the U.S. Amateur Team West.
And we're going to make chess really exciting tonight, folks. I'm telling you.
And we're having a few laughs because we're talking about Twitch and what other people do, and
First of all, we've got to get those kind of cockpit chairs.
Where it has the background where you look like you're traveling through space at the same time, and
there you go. I mean,
and the final round here is going to be a doozy because the way the standings have shaped up, this table one pairing of UC Berkeley Team B, which is the only undefeated team in the tournament. Perfect, not only undefeated, perfect. They're 5 out of 5. Are playing the other undefeated team in the tournament, although not perfect, the San Jose Chess Club Warriors. And the one thing we know is that they are playing each other in this round, and one of these two teams will be the U.S. Amateur Team West champion.
Wow.
There's no other team that can catch up. It's going to be one of these two.
Amazing.
And
what if it's a draw?
If it's a draw, UC Berkeley wins because they have a half-point advantage. And there's no other team that would be able to catch UC Berkeley, even if they drew.
Wow.
So
people, can I ask you? This is the San Jose High School. This team?
No, it's actually 3 kids. A lot of them we know very well. They play our mechanics. Stratus Jr. Alan Finkelstein is their board 4. Chess Pilot 01 Pranav Sairam is their board 2. And then Abhinav Pinagalapati, he's played for mechanics on some of the team matches in our tournaments, King 29. And then on their board 1, they have Grandmaster Andre Gorvettes. So it's Gorvettes and the kids that make up the San Jose Chess Club Warriors.
Gorvettes' rating here is really something to talk about. I mean, we could talk about it for a while. What's with this 1090 rating? I thought the guy's a grandmaster.
He gained some points, though, because he was at like 1013, I think, when he started. So he's getting up there.
Now, back in my day, a grandmaster had a real rating.
And this is board 1 of this championship table with FIDE Master Ryan Takazati for UC Berkeley Team B against Grandmaster Andre Gorvettes. And we'll look at
some kind of a London system, but it's gone Block's way.
Yes.
Light squared bishops traded off, minority attacks develop, plays on the queen side.
And this bishop at h2, which white just loves in this opening, is almost ineffective here. I like to see this bishop get its just desserts,
And the actual F-pawn is in the chat.
Wow, F-pawn.
You have no idea how much the F-pawn has come up in the tournament. And
we've been on the F-pawn thing for a long time last time.
And so like I said at the beginning, the one thing we know is one of these two teams, UC Berkeley B and the San Jose Warriors, they will be the Amateur Team West champions. And looking at the strategy of the boards, Andre Gorvettes on paper has the edge on board 1, but the Berkeley Team B on 2 and 3 with Arjun Bharat and Christopher Pan have an edge over their opponent. On board 4, Stratus Jr. is tough, but so is Nathan Fong. I would say that that's even. So I think boards 2 and 3 is where the match is going to be decided. If the San Jose Warriors can, hold steady there, it could bode well for them.
This board 1, like white has almost no play here. It's funny.
The opening has gone badly. That's true.
Yeah. Hey, it's
Gonzalo.
Gonzalo.
Hey, Gonzalo.
Gonna tell us how the donkeys move.
And the mamas. Well, let's check on board 2. Pranav Sairam for San Jose against National Master Arjun Bharat, who had a fantastic win in the previous round with Queen G8.
So everybody's really playing it close to the vest here. Now, Pranav Sairam is playing for Berkeley?
No, for San Jose.
For San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then board 3 is here. National Master Christopher Pan against Abhinav Panagalapati.
How about Queen takes F6?
A little too eager.
Not quite yet.
Not yet? Okay.
And then board 4.
I've seen things like that fall by knight d5. It's not going to work here, but...
And this is Stratus Jr., Alan Finkelstein against Nathan Fong of UC Berkeley.
Well, black definitely has some compensation for a pawn here. It seems, anyway, with the lead in development.
Yeah, that game can go either way.
But white's position's pretty sound.
And this is the championship table, boards 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll keep an eye on the second table. We have UC Berkeley's A team playing Alpha Zero tech support. And here's the game. Robert Shliaktenko for white and Alpha Zero against Kesab Viswanathan for Cal Berkeley.
Can white
Black's
get away
got
with
the idea of Queen
H4?
H4.
I'd like to try pawn G4, because Queen H4 you can just go King G2. Push him back.
Sebi Suarez in the chat. Hey Sebi, you got to play the Scholastic team event next week. So
where's black out? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I'm just gonna plug Mechanics Institute will have a Scholastic side event, U.S. Amateur Team event next Saturday. So we will be pumping that this week, and any of the Scholastic teams that have played here in the under 1800 section next week is your chance for trophies and glory. So you will hear of it.
So how do you count tempo, Nick? If black goes back with the knight to f6, it's white's move. How many tempos has white gained by playing G in that sequence?
Yeah, white's gained a bit. It's it's definitely a little nicer for white. Bishop comes to f4, control of the board, and you have an extra pawn for the moment.
Yeah, was it worth it for black to play knight h5 and encourage g4?
Maybe he couldn't think of anything else to do.
Yeah.
Okay, king is coming to g2. Knight comes back to f6. Things are guarded, you know. Knight back to f6, bishop f4.
Is there going to be a crash
Like
coming?
black's game.
Is black going to be crashing in?
I guess that's what black is trying to do some crashing.
Yeah, I'm thinking what, take the knight and then take on g4 or something?
That just
White's
looks
got
gives
a
away.
lot of defenders.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is looking very bad for black.
Yeah, bishop f4 just seems solid. Then you can go bishop g3 and h4 or something.
Maybe they can do bishop f4, knight h5, bishop g3, and you take it. Better for white, but at least you got the bishop out of it.
Right.
Let's take a peek at the Mechanics Institute team. They are playing Stanford's A team, and we have top boards in this matchup. International Master Bryce Tiglon for Stanford playing FIDE Master Kyron Griffith.
Aaron loves these Caro-Kann positions.
That's right.
Yeah, his openings are good. Now,
And board two in this
game though.
board two is Grandmaster Jim Tarjan for the Mechanics playing WIM Emily Nguyen from Stanford. F-Pawn's Stanford Cardinals.
This
Well, white has
kind
a
of
look.
looking good for white.
Yeah, nice little lead in development maybe, and some pressure on the queen side. Gonna hit that queen around.
So if the rook comes to d8, attacking the d pawn, do you take the knight on c6? Get greedy?
Greed is good.
Details, huh?
And we have yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, I'm in the training room. You always hear greed is good. So maybe just take that pawn.
White's trying to go up a pawn here. Black has to be careful.
And there's another matchup going on between Mechanics. It's the Factory with John Donaldson and Mark Pinto. They're playing the Junior Mechanics.
Too bad there's not a one called the Firm.
The Firm.
The Firm playing the Factory or something.
And it's I am John Donaldson playing FIDE Master Jason Liang.
Oh, okay. So this is a real matchup here.
You're gonna love the board two matchup.
This is a
Pretty
tense
even in
game.
this position.
What?
Yeah, this looks pretty even. Solid John Donaldson position is white.
You want to see this?
Hard to get an edge.
You want to see the position of the next game? This is
Yeah.
National Master Rui Yang Yan against Mark Pinto.
Whoa.
Odd.
It doesn't get any better than that, folks. Oh my gosh. Mark is in some serious trouble here.
And Mark,
You're not wasting any time.
that's a 13-year-old you're playing.
Yeah. Well, this is not looking good for black at all. This must be close to winning for white.
Pawn takes h6 looks really strong, because if the bishop takes, you crash on d6. And anyway, you're threatening to take on d6 and go queen g7 mate.
Oh,
Mark, you
nice.
need to be Houdini.
Oh, nice. I was going to take some kind of positional approach and start with king g2 or something, but you know.
So that is a tough one there.
Oh, for Mark, for sure.
Let's go back to the top, the championship table, and Ryan Takazati against Gorvettes, Andre Gorvettes.
Has some choice of advantages, can take on e5, on to b4. Ryan just wants to draw for the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on paper, that would be the goal.
Black is certainly better here. Yeah, there's going to be. We're going to talk about the f pawns in a minute here.
And we told F pawn, hey, you've actually come up more than you realize throughout the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, have you noticed that neither player has moved their f pawn in this game? Yeah.
Potzers.
Yeah. And what I was saying, f pawn, was, I mean, there are people that have, you know, openings named after them and stuff like that, but nobody actually has a chess piece named after them. You know, that's
Right.
that's really something.
And look at Arjun here. Looks like he has active pieces.
Yeah, but this again looks like one of the white player playing for a draw.
And
Black is going to go 93 and get the bishop there.
yeah, Arjun is willing to grind this out.
And Arjun is from the Berkeley team, right?
Yes.
Right. Well, Black's a little better here for sure.
But definitely they want a positive result out of their board 2 or 3. I think they're counting on it. And Berkeley does have draw odds because they're a half point ahead.
Right. So they're using the strategy that backfires.
They're going to want a point on one of these boards 2 or 3 just to hedge against board 1. And let's take a look at board 3.
I'm not impressed with White's play in this opening.
And Christopher Pan is playing for Cal Berkeley here. And Abhinav Panagalapati for the Warriors.
They traded the queens, so you can't sacrifice it all.
Drat.
What's that move?
Oh no.
Was that a blunder right there?
Oh no. That's
Mouse
very
slip?
sad.
That might have been a mouse slip.
Oh, that's incredibly sad.
Oh wow. Oh my gosh.
He obviously meant to go back to F8 or B8. That's a sad. Something weird about the online chess thing, huh?
And Christopher Pan is just using his time and just wow, that is it.
That's a gift.
Wow,
Oh God.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And even
Oh,
in the game chat, Christopher Pan's asking if it was a mouse slip. Ugh, unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a sad. That's really sad.
Oh man.
I mean, it was a difficult position anyway, but
Wow. All right. Wow. So board three goes to UC Berkeley. Uh,
Wow. And Christopher, I mean, he's had a good tournament, a really good tournament.
there's just been some fantastic games in this tournament. Like, this will be a great newsletter. It'll be a great write up for Chess Life. Just fantastic games. Here's board four. Nathan Fong for Cal Berkeley and Rui Yang Yan has finished off. Look at this final position. Has finished off Mark Pinto. Look at that. That knight's forking everything.
That's the family fork for you.
The family fork. So
Well,
tough
poor
one
Mark.
there.
Yeah.
But what do you think of this board four game? So Cal needs only a point and a half out of the next three.
Oh, Black.
they need 1 point out of the next three. Yeah.
No, because there's only been one result so far.
Well, they won, and they only have to tie the match 2-2.
Oh, that's right. They only need 1 point. You're right. That's right. They have draws. Correct. But they want perfection. They want to go 6-0.
Well, they might get it here. I mean, Nathan Fong is sort of loosening up White's position here.
A lot of pressure, huh?
Yep. Threaded knight b4 now, maybe.
And look at this on board two.
Yeah, you can go bishop f1 though. I'm not. I mean, you didn't win anything with bishop 3.
Well, you're starting off on the right track, right, by exchanging the dark squared bishops. And then
I would have taken the bishop pair.
Oh,
I
okay.
think.
That's interesting. With knight e3.
I mean, that remaining bishop on g2 is not so great. Now it gets back into the game with bishop f1. There's a threat here of knight takes g4. Maybe not.
Well, black is certainly better, I think. I see a king excursion into White's position at some point. I should have a crystal ball here in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick and I should have crystal balls.
Predicting the future.
Predicting the future, wear magician's hats and stuff like that.
So we're gonna switch over to the Mechanics Institute and this match between Bryce Tiglon and Kyron Griffith.
I'm still reeling about that blunder that we saw.
That is tough because that was one of the crucial boards that Cal needed. And just to have psychologically, right? Just to have that result like that already this early, I mean that really affects the strategy of what people are trying to do, especially Cal knowing they just need a point.
What is second place worth in this mess?
You get a plaque, but
Right.
first place you play for the national championship. It's like the disparity between first and second is pretty big.
I got you.
But it's just unfortunate because the group of kids played really, really well.
Mm.
And then just one slip it means so much, right?
Well, this is one of the strange things about online chess. You can't make an illegal move, but you can make a mouse slip. It's almost like it's almost a
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul, in the arena, how many mouse slips have you made?
A few. Sometimes I'm not fast enough with the mouse.
Yeah.
Chess.com I don't play on chess.com, so it seems weird to me when I'm playing on it. I've made a couple.
I made a mouse slip last week, but somehow my opponent didn't believe my move was as bad as it was.
Yeah.
See, at your level, Nick, they say, well, it had to be a mouse slip. There's no way he would have done that. Look at the top.
Oh no, but he
Yeah.
thought it was a sacrifice.
Oh.
Mouse slip.
I found my biggest problem in the arena is that I'm not prepared mentally when I start playing. Well, this is getting closer and closer to the desired result for white, I suppose, a draw.
Yeah, and Gorvettes. See, like, what does it do psychologically? Like I said, to have that game go down, right?
Black is still better here, but
I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but this game is going to continue till the bitter end. Gorvettes is going to press with that little advantage, go pawn to b4, pawn to b3, try to work it a little here and there.
uh-huh.
And I think, yeah. And then here is board 2, Arjun Bharat against Pranav Sairam.
So if you sort of disregard that result on the third board?
Third board.
It's not looking completely great for Berkeley. I mean, they could fall if they just play defensively.
Yeah, I think the thing here too is this game between Nathan Fong and Alan Finkelstein. There's so much pressure here. The fourth
Now
board.
that game, it looked like this looks more like,
And just what we know about Nathan Fong. I mean, can be a tough player. He's playing at the Mechanics online regularly, playing top competition in the TNMs and the other tournaments. But so is Alan Finkelstein. But they're both in form. But Black putting a lot of pressure here.
Yeah, I agree. Black is putting a lot of pressure here.
But white could easily win this game. Say he goes like on to b4 and queen c2, queen e2. White gets in e4 and you're pushing things back. You get developed. And this is a must-win game for San Jose.
Yeah. Yeah, this is tough.
So queen c2, yeah. Queen e2, I'm looking at some move like knight f, queen takes, and knight f4.
Aha. An action move.
Action Jackson. That's what they call me down at the chess club.
Action Jackson. Looking for some Action Jackson. And let's go over to table 2 and see Berkeley A. This was a game we were looking at. Robert Shliaktenko and Kesaf Viswanathan.
And then we got to see how the firm is doing, or the factory.
The factory. Well, we know Mark Pinto went down in glorious defeat to Rui. Let's take a look at John Donaldson, top board for the factory. Mechanics versus mechanics.
White's still a pawn up here.
And John had offered him a draw at some point, which Jason declined. And there was a draw on board 3 with Nicholas Weng. So Nicholas Weng drew his game.
How did he finish up in the tournament? We haven't looked at much of his games.
Oh, I mean, he had this was the final position in Nicholas's game. Nicholas being black. Up a pawn, but he's playing a national master, and so did his part. So with Rui's win, the junior mechanics, let me just peek in on their board 4, but this would be a great result. Kevin Sue for the junior mechanics.
You gotta like this for black. He's a pawn ahead, but okay.
Oh, and I think that result is in now. GL 45. And I don't see it, so there is a result in their board 4, but it's not entered yet. So, well, we'll keep our eyes on this. Let's check in on the top, see if anything has developed here. Arjun redirecting pieces.
It seems there's no way black could lose this with the better bishop.
Well, black is trying to win, right? Especially since his teammate lost.
No, black is UC Berkeley.
Oh, black is Berkeley. I
Yeah.
see.
He would love to win and
Oh, I see.
seal
Yeah, so
seal up the
black
championship.
Black is better here. Yeah.
But I think his teammates are looking at this game. This is the game they're looking at because
So white comes right back with the queen.
What happens on rook to e1? Or sorry, rook to fe8.
and you start launching f5 or something.
Maybe knight c3 or something.
Give back a pawn.
Probably.
Would be sensible.
Takes. Bishop b2. If black could get down to the 7th rank, maybe. Can white just hold the 2nd rank? Bishop b, knight c3. Queen E2 was clever move, just to try to prevent that Queen C2 move.
But it's starting to look quite safe for black. If you
Yeah,
get your pawn back.
Berkeley's in good situation here, no doubt about it.
They are in shape.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Chelsea's game, board 4, in their match, the Mechanics Institute versus Stanford University. Chelsea Zhu playing white here.
She's been on fire in this tournament, huh?
Yeah, she has been performing.
Black's desperately trying to regain the piece here with Bishop A6.
Sorry, what's this material count?
Oh, wait a minute. What am I
It
saying?
looks like White's
White's
losing.
down. White's lost a rook.
And probably more here, right?
Yeah. Something went wrong for White.
Yeah. So let's wow, look at this game. This is board 4 on the second table, UC Berkeley. Team A against Alpha Zero Tech Support, fourth board. Kylan Jin. Wow, it looks like Junior Mejia has just crashed in.
What a weird material situation here, too. That's piece advantage.
Yeah, and then wow.
Unless there's a mate here, I think Black is in serious trouble here, it looks like. I mean, what happens at Bishop takes Rook even?
And then pawn takes bishop.
Let's keep our nice rook and go rook e7 check.
Yeah. It could be dangerous.
Two pieces up. Somehow this just wins for white.
Yeah, I think so. I like the fianchettoed knight. When you have a fianchettoed knight, you're always doing good. Just take the rook, huh?
I think if your king is safe, the game is over. So something like bishop d2, you're up two pieces.
Well, here queen e5.
Well, bishop b4 check. Maybe
Yeah.
that doesn't matter.
Maybe.
You're right. That doesn't matter.
He's trying to figure the continuation here. I doubt he'd be looking to just repeat and get a draw.
Got to be careful with the electronic TD.
Look, oh yeah, and look at the board 2 game here with Timu Virtanen for UC Berkeley against Keaton Kira for Alpha Zero Tech Support.
Material is even.
Everybody pay attention to what the Grandmaster does. He counts the pawns before anything else.
Yeah, trying to see
Fundamentals.
if I can get it right.
Fundamentals.
So many times I've forgotten to do that. Looks like White's got a nice game, but I mean, this is hard to say. Everything is.
Let's take a look at board 3 in this matchup. Alex Costello against Ashrita Iswaran.
I feel like we're getting to know these players a bit.
Yeah, well, we know them already. Now we're just knowing them online.
Yeah. That's a strong knight at e5, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't like Black's game here very much. Despite the two bishops.
Yeah, sometimes knights are better than bishops. And they have nice solid squares in the center.
Look at the top board in this one with Robert Shlyatenko and Kesav.
We're getting some great games here. Great matchups.
Just pushing those pawns.
And Black's game doesn't look too good, but if you can get rid of the knight at c3, maybe find a way to hang on.
I like that bishop on g4, sort of just out far ahead of the rest of the, his teammates, but hanging on a good square.
And let me pull that up.
Funny position, huh? If White can get through to d6 now, or put his knight on e6, I don't know. How about rook e1 and then knight b5?
Or maybe, yeah.
The rook is completely misplaced now on h1. Or maybe White can play g6 and engineer a sacrifice on g4. And then
So let me pull to this game here.
yeah, rook e1 first, and then knight b5.
So this is from the under 1800 section. The top two teams in that section both have 4.5. They're the only two teams with 4.5. It is 100% lady chess moves, led by the Goodkind sisters against We Ran Out of Tranquilizer Pills. One of their teammates is Ramachita. Lauren Goodkind has won her game already on the top board. She defeated Vijay Surla. So 1 point for lady chess moves, and this is board 2 with Barbara Goodkind. Eat dinner. She's playing black against Adam Muse, who is white.
Still up in the air.
So
Yeah, it looks solid for black. Has to trade bishops probably, and those black knights on d5 and f5 are very solid.
And let's look at Ramachita's game on board 3 for Tranquilizer Pills. He's playing black against Daniela Keller.
Ooh, that shot. 5 to take the rook on b3.
Oh wow! Look at that move. Let me go back one move. Look at that. That is a good move. Right?
Yeah, black's going to lose the exchange here.
What a move. Very nice by Daniela.
But black's going to have 2 pawns for the exchange,
Yeah.
so it's going to still be a game.
I was going to ask you, is it going to be a game?
Yeah, it's going to be a game.
And then the board 4 matchup here is this one here. Ed Pernica for tranquilizer pills against Cheryl Lynn's for lady moves. That's looking evenish.
Black's got a nice game here. Black's got a great game.
Kind of nice to have those 2 bishops. That light squared bishop of blacks is good.
And let's go back to the championship table here. This move has just been played by Nathan Fong. Look at that.
Whoa! That looks like a winning move.
Yeah, if king f2, rook takes e1, queen b6, rook f1 check.
Wow.
What a move by Nathan Fong.
That's what black's been aiming for this whole time.
I mean, that was a piece sacrifice to get to this position, and then the shot, rook d1. Just nice. That's the championship move.
Saw it coming, right? Here it is right here. And you guys saw it, that this was what was aimed. Played bishop b2. And then boom, boom, bam.
So white failed to play knight c3, thought that everything was fine. Even there, maybe he shouldn't have taken the knight. But rook d1 is kind of, yeah, what a move.
Tactics.
Terrific move.
And you're right. This looks like it's the championship tactic.
F pawn says another reason before knight before bishop. Yeah, that's so true. And now the little Schweizenzug, rook f1 check.
Don't.
Perfect.
We'll bring our queen back. Oh, sorry, rook f1 check. I thought you were talking about rook e8 check.
No. Oh, look, that's an interesting move, taking back with the c pawn. Sure. This is now hopeless.
Well, especially now we're getting a trade here.
Yeah, and we have a strong master with the black pieces.
Wow. So the top board is breathing a little better here. Ryan Takazati for white against Grandmaster Andre Gorvettes.
Rook e8, keep attacking.
And white just wants to
with
cocoon
the match
himself.
over.
Actually,
Match over. Maybe his incentive to grind down is not as big.
and I mean, we saw the heroics from Nathan Fong in that tactic, but we still have this game, the board two match with Arjun Bharat against Pranav Saram. And now definitely Arjun doesn't need to really press, it seems.
Black looks like he's maybe lost some of his advantage, although he could still put a knight at f4. Still better for black.
And chess pilot Pranav Saram declined a draw earlier, which he's doing because he knows his team is behind. This needs to be a win for San Jose to have any kind of shot.
Yeah, and they need to, and Gorvettes needs to win as well.
Yeah, and not only that,
That's a possibility.
Board 4 needs to pull a miracle off to just even get a draw. I think everyone's going to try to cocoon themselves, and they're counting on Nathan to just close the show.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it seems
For
like
San Jose,
yeah,
if they tie the match, they could get clear second, couldn't they?
correct. But I'm wondering if they can be
Second,
caught, though. They could be caught by someone who wins, and then the tiebreakers would play.
Abel, you say this is what we're going to do at the end of next month.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is I'm counting on you or Paul to have to play a deciding game. Like, I hope you're not looking for Judith and I to have to pull out a tactic or a miracle.
Oh, big upset. We think you're capable of these big upsets.
Yeah, and as John McCumsky is saying in the chat, one team's at 4 points, but several at 3.5. So even a tie will allow other teams to catch up on that half point. And you never know how the tie breaks are going to pan out. Back to this one here with Pranav Saram and Arjun.
Well, how's Tarzan's game?
Let's see. This is Mechanics Institute against Stanford. Here we go.
Oh, wow. A lot more development for white.
Yeah, Tarzan is pressing here, pressing black down.
Two pieces. Yeah.
Still, these positions can be tough to crack. White would like to play rook to d8 mate, but his rook can't hop over his bishop.
Actually, if I look at the standings, so San Jose, if they were to draw the match, they would be at 5 points. Only UC Berkeley Team A would be able to catch them for second, because they're the only team at 4 points. So if San Jose draws their match, UC Berkeley A team could catch them if they win their match. But they got a tough match because they're playing Alpha Zero tech support.
And they already lost on board 1, right? Oh, no.
No, that was this game here with Shliaktenko.
I'm glad you're pronouncing his name because I'm finding it difficult.
A lot of pressure.
Oh, black has recovered a bit here. Still down a pawn. But there's shots all over the board here, maybe.
And look at board two.
Yeah.
Board 2 here with Timu Virtanen and Keaton Kira.
Yeah, it's got pressure. Those Black Knights don't have a lot of good squares.
Yeah, once white plays queen c6, it's going to get a little difficult for black, huh?
And I don't have.
Still. Well, why doesn't white play knight f1? I mean, it's the only way to bring the knight into the game anyway, so.
And
King f2.
Yeah.
looking at, I'm going back to Nathan Fong's game because it's sort of progressing rapidly.
Yeah, well, that game is a foregone conclusion.
So
This is just
so what?
busted.
So once this resolves itself, and he's just gonna push away right there, right?
Yeah, white cannot. Hold on here.
Look at that. Just kind of want to see the moment, because the moment this game is decided for black is the moment that UC Berkeley B team becomes the 2021 U.S. Amateur Team West champion.
I think San Jose, I mean, apart from Kevin, that horrible blunder, it seems that Berkeley was better prepared for this match somehow.
You know, they had a lot of talent in the kids. I mean, strong experts, but
and Hosea played on the C team,
C
right?
team,
Right.
They sort of.
We haven't seen much of him.
Yeah, they lost in the earlier round, so we were focusing on the higher teams.
Right.
And that was it.
Did he resign?
Yeah, somehow lost the game here. It looked like he resigned, though.
Yeah, I think I saw resign on there.
And with that win, with Nathan Fong's win, they have 2 points. They have at least a draw, but that is enough for UC Berkeley Team B to win the 2021 U.S. Amateur Team West.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to them. And fantastic win by a fantastic team. And pretty happy. Good for them. And, you know, it speaks also of their club, because I was talking to Glenn when he was on, that they have so many members. Look at how many teams they have here, a bunch of strong players, and they meet up and play regularly. And so they're all sort of training with each other. And they're just exposed to a lot more ideas, a lot more quality chess, and that gives them something that other teams may not have, and and they got it done. Congratulations, go Bears, to UC Berkeley Team B. And that team, and actually the Board 1, their leader on that team, Ryan Takazati, this is the second year in a row he's part of the winning Amateur West team.
Wow.
Because he won as part of a team from Berkeley Chess School last year.
Wow.
And so now he's going back again to play in the semifinal.
Does Berkeley Chess School have some entrants this year?
No, they did not enter a team this year. Probably with everything going with the pandemic, made it difficult. But yeah, they didn't have a team. Look at this one on board 2. Pranav Sairam down to 1:36.
And having to try to win this difficult position.
Yeah, now
I think he should offer a draw.
And the thing is that if they offer draws and just tied the match, they would get clear second and they just go home.
Right. But they're not tying the match, right? They've already lost the match.
No, they're 2.
Oh.
Yeah, they're 2 because Berkeley only needed a draw to win. They're down 0-2, and this game ended in a draw. So UC Berkeley goes perfect, 6-0.
Wow.
2.5. And this is the last game remaining. This is board 1.
This should be a draw also.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from Andre Gorvettes' perspective,
There's nothing to play for
there's
anymore.
nothing to play for. They should probably just take a draw, and this would be great.
Well, he could improve his rating to over 1,100.
Well, a draw would do that, I think. Even a draw would get that for him. But UC Berkeley, well, we'll keep an eye on that. But let's look at the Mechanics Institute and Bryce Tiglon for Stanford and Kyron Griffith for Mechanics.
Nick, what's your topic for the Chess Cafe tomorrow?
Oh, well, I actually got an email from Richard Hack.
I got the same email.
So we're in for a treat, and we should tell people about the Chess Cafe tomorrow. Really friendly online chess club. Alexi Root comes on, lots of nice people, and so very interesting stories. I have some wrap up about Viconze, but everybody's got something to contribute.
And if you're interested in the Chess Cafe, check out the link in the Twitch chat.
Yeah, we have. It's really fun. I think it's like a virtual. It's like a bunch of people sitting around and on Zoom and talking about chess and bringing their cups of coffee with them if they have them.
You could actually have coffee at the cafe, except you got to make it yourself.
And you can also send in a PGN to the Mechanics Institute Chess Club, and we will take a look at your game. So how about that? How about them apples?
How do you like them apples? Oops, I meant to go to this game here. You'll see it soon. Jim Tarjan and Emily Nguyen. And they did draw on the top board, Ryan Takazati and Andre Gorvettes. So it ended up being 3-1 for UC Berkeley Team B.
In a way, that's good. That means the blunder didn't change the result.
Didn't change the result, but who knows how much that you feel that. But you never know. I mean, but, it happens. And regardless of it, fantastic performance by the San Jose Warriors.
So who's in second, or they're still up in the air here?
It's up in the air because so San Jose lost that match, right? So that sort of opens the door a little bit because San Jose Chess Club now has 4.5 points. There's a lot of teams with 3.5, but the UC Berkeley A team has 4 points. So at UC Berkeley, if they win their match, they will take clear second with 5. Even if they draw, they could take second place on tiebreak. But but yeah, because San Jose lost, it sort of has opened the door a little bit for teams to catch them. Even teams at 3.5, including the Mechanics Institute. Now Mechanics has it a little tough because board 3 lost, but let's take a look at Chelsea's game. She looked like she was in like serious trouble, but it looks like she is just down a an exchange for a pawn. So at least
She's come back.
yeah. So at least there's some fighting still to be had here.
Wow, I'll say she was in. I thought she was completely busted.
But for the mechanics to win this match, Kyron and Jim Tarjan both have to win, and she needs to find a way to draw.
Wait a minute. Okay, so 94 doesn't quite work here. Because of just bishop takes e4 or queen c5, bishop f5.
Mm.
I don't.
No.
Yeah, it wouldn't work for another reason too. I don't think.
So what about bishop e? No, that's no point.
You know, I always like bishop h7 check because it might be mate, but well, white's hanging in there. So
I bet she makes a draw on this game.
And that would be a fantastic result. And Jim Tarjan looking good.
very good.
The challenge will be Kyron Griffith here, although it looks like he's up a pawn.
He's up. Yeah. And Jim is just putting on the squeeze here. Kyron's up a pawn. And who is IM?
That's Bryce Tiglon from Stanford. USCF 2498.
Kyron has really upped his game lately.
I'm playing a lot of chess.
Playing a lot of
Maybe
chess.
he should go. Maybe he should go f6 and break up those pawns.
Well, it's White's move right now.
Oh,
I guess Queen G2.
And Nathan Fong in the chat. Go Bears. Fantastic finish, man. We were watching that. Nice little tactical shot there. Absolutely. It's our pleasure at the Mechanics Institute. And once again, we can never say it enough. Props and congratulations to the amazing tournament directing team that we have, with Judith leading the way, John McCumsky, the computer TD, Brian Yang, amazing, answering all the rules questions that come in the Discord, and all the other TDs monitoring the Zoom cameras. It's a big team effort all the way around. It's not just one or two of us. Even you guys, Paul and Nick. You know, it's a long day, long days of commentating, but all around team effort, and I think we put on a quality show for everyone, and it's awesome to see. So
I can even chew
What's
gum
amazing-
and talk about chess at the same time.
what's amazing, Abel, is you guys you've made it seem like there's not the pandemic. It's just very similar to last year's tournament.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
and I think with we were talking about this earlier with Discord and with the chat here, and even doing the game online, which allows us to not only bring the games and talk about them, but to just interact. Just that shared experience means so much to bringing together the feeling of the event. And I think that's one thing we're learning, the fact that we continue with our online events. It's not just about online chess. It's about having a shared experience. We were able to do that with our broadcasts and just having events and being interact with people. It's the importance of that shared experience to continue that feeling of community. And I mean, that's what it was all about. And, I think we got there. And we're going to keep doing it. And even when we open live, we're going to do it live. We're going to do it online. We're going to do it everywhere we can, just because we love doing it. So we're going to keep on doing it. And but thank you to all the players that have trusted us and participate in our events. This wouldn't mean anything if you guys weren't there backing us up and supporting us. So thank you. And even Nathan, he helps us and volunteers when he can. He helped write a script for us that helps us send the games to Ken a lot easier. And he just did it on his own time. He said, here it is, because the guy's a genius. So, it's all one thing, all one community. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Abel.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Nathan. You had the honor of winning the tournament with your move. That rook to D1.
It's always fun to be that move, that game, that was it, right? Obviously, it's a team effort all the way around, but it is fun to be that, hey, there's that shot, this wins the tournament.
Yeah.
And you'll see it on the Twitch. If you look it back, we saw it when you played it, and then we went crazy about it. So, all right.
Isn't White going to play G4 anyway? Going back to the chess.
Yeah.
This is the battle for second place, and I couldn't be more happy than to have Karen be trying to
grind it out. And well, speaking of grinding it out, I mean, this is the person that's going to have to grind it out. It's Chelsea. A big ask given the position, but can it be done?
Down the exchange.
Yeah, she's trying, but it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough, is right.
Another matchup that we've been following that's also a battle for possible second place is the UC Berkeley A team playing the Alpha Zero tech support. And here's Robert Shliaktenko against Kesov.
I think Chelsea blundered that.
Oh, in the previous game?
Yeah. Game's up in the air.
King G3, huh? I mean, Black should be kind of lost here, I think. But it might be tough for White to bring the point home.
King G3, Queen D6. It's still a very loose position.
Yeah. Rook C3, maybe?
Well, that's a good move.
Nick, do you ever find yourself rooting for one player? Even, let's say you don't even know the players. And the same with you, Abel. Let's say you don't even know the players and you're just watching some random game. Do you find yourself rooting for one player or the other, just and then ask yourself why? Why am I rooting for one side or the other here?
I'll do it when I see a big rating difference and I root for the underdog. But that's the only basis I would have for rooting for one or the other when I don't know the players.
I ask myself that question a lot because there just seems to be no reason for it sometimes. So I'm just like.
But you do it? You find yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Mike Walder. He roots for his favorite openings to hold up. That's an interesting take on it.
Uh-huh.
right? So like I love to see an Alekhine crush someone, right? Like,
Right, there you go.
and
And I think all of us like, I mean, Chiron accepted. Well, most of us like to see justice on the chessboard.
in reference to his swindle of the year.
Yeah. No, but seriously, there is something about that. Like it bothered me to see that horrible mouse slip and blunder,
His
and
justice.
yeah, you don't want to see that kind of thing. Chess has this logic to it. You want to see that kind of. You don't want to see somebody blunder like that, or yeah. What is justice? Yeah.
or or better this, right? Truth. What is truth?
Yeah. What is truth?
Quid est veritas? Little Bible there. Lowercase man, how's it going? I believe that is Alan Finkelstein, board 4 for the San Jose Chess Warriors. Tough final round for you guys there with that mouse slip from Abi on board 3. You guys had a fantastic tournament, and just things didn't seem to go your way there at the end, but you guys fought hard, but you got caught with that tactic there at the end by Nathan Fong. But it was fun to watch you guys because we see you all the time at the Mechanics Online Club, so tough one. Yeah. But for you guys to be undefeated going through 5 rounds with the quality of the teams, that's something. And we're watching here the under 1800 section. This is black is Barbara Goodkind. If 100% lady moves, Lauren Goodkind won on board 1, so they're trying to close the show. Look at this game here.
Black has this wonderful squares for his knight or her knight, so this is not over.
And this is Ramachita on board 3, black. That knight looks pretty darn good right there.
Yeah. This is the game where White played that fabulous knight b5 move, which ended up giving him the worst position.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that, yeah. It looked good there in the beginning, but that knight got in there.
Still chances for White. Maybe pawn to b4 so you can set that a6 pawn as a target.
Mm-hmm.
Double or triple on the A line.
Yeah, that's a good, tripling on the A line.
Wow, look at this. Let's go back to this game, because to me this is kind of an interesting game.
Just Black should not have allowed that.
Just because of the players here. Timu Virtanen and Keaton Cura.
Oh, but this looks on, I think. Like bishop to d6.
And in this match, UC Berkeley's 4th board won, so they're up 1-0 in this match.
So if White can compel Black to play queen takes c4,
that should do it.
you're saying bishop d6?
Try to take the knight on e7 and compel. But this get the knight into play is extremely sensible.
Black's in trouble.
And this is like the first time we've seen Keaton in trouble in the tournament.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
So maybe White's threatening knight f3 and pawn e6 check or something. King G6.
King G6, then we'll throw in Bishop D6.
Yeah, Knight D2 is a good move. Sure. G4, Bishop D6, Queen C4. It takes back.
Once you get those pawns rolling.
Yeah. Where does Timu live?
Well, he's Bay Area because he goes to UC Berkeley, but he grew
we
up in the
haven't-
Bay Area.
That's funny. We have not seen him at the chess club, I don't think.
We used to see him in the South Bay all the time because he lived in that
Okay.
area. So I've seen a lot of him.
Right, I've never met him, I don't think.
Pre-mechanics, yeah. Fantastic family, real nice guy, humble.
Mm-hmm. Do you know who he is, Nick?
No, I haven't met him.
Yeah, I don't think he's been to the mechanics. At least I don't remember.
Yeah, I live in San Jose.
He's a strong player, obviously. I mean, I lost once. I played the champion of Finland once many years ago,
Yeah.
Westerinen, and lost to him at one point.
Achy Western, and yeah.
You ever seen that movie, The Quick and the Dead?
Maybe.
The
Who's
Quick
in
and
that?
It's Sharon Stone and Russell Crowe. It's kind of one of those westerns that's intended to be funny, but they make it look like it's serious. And it's
Yeah. It's got an all-star cast.
yeah, and Leonardo DiCaprio was in it.
Yeah, it's like got everybody.
And
in
it was a gunfight competition to the death.
Yeah.
And so Leonardo DiCaprio, he's a kid, right? But he's like the hot shot. And,
Right.
and he gets matched up against the Swedish champion. And so he wins, right? Because, he shoots the gun out of his hand. And he's all, am I fast or is Sweden just a very small place? Because the guy said he was the Swedish champion. But, yeah, Timu... yeah, he's strong. He's drawn and beaten GMs and very strong FIDE master. I think he's devoted most of his time towards school, but he does not seem to have lost his strength whatsoever. Still playing at a high level. So this is board 2. Let's go to board 3. We haven't looked at this game in a while. Alexander Costello, International Master, for the Alpha Zero team against Ashrita Iswaran playing black.
Well, Sharita is a tough player, isn't she? Jeez.
Yeah.
Very impressed by her play.
I think it might be her diet. I think in one of the Discord chats, she was talking about how sometimes she'll eat ice cream for lunch or something. And maybe there's something there.
Something that would kill me. Right?
And on this board, it looks like, I think this is the board 4 for Lady Chess Moves. So they're board 4-1. So it looks like they are 2-0 in their match.
Wow.
So they just need a half point from one of their boards 2 or 3. And the 100% Lady Chess Moves would be the champions of the under 1800. So we'll see if the good kind team can pull it off. And back to
that would be extraordinary.
That would be fantastic, yeah.
That's an interesting mate there at the end.
Right. And let's go check the Mechanics Institute. Kyron Griffith.
This isn't. Oh wow! White is trying to start things on the king side.
Yeah, it's funny. Black played bishop g6, but it looked like that was a mistake because white wanted to play g4 anyway. I think, it looked that way to me. But this is, maybe black had to.
Wow. And the junior mechanics team has defeated the factory.
Wow.
Oh.
So they're already at 2.5 points. The only game outstanding is John Donaldson against Jason Liang, but that doesn't matter. The junior mechanics will be at 4.5 points.
Let's see. So what? Wait a minute. So what happened in the other games?
So Rui beat Mark Pinto.
Right.
Nicholas Wang drew Joshua Lawson on board 3. And Kevin Su, who's the junior mechanics board 4, he won against Joseph Graves. So that's 2.5 right there. So
and we saw the Donaldson Jason Liang game out.
Yeah, but junior mechanics, they already have 2.5 points.
And can we take a look at the Donaldson game?
Yeah, it's up.
Kyron doesn't have an easy game here. Wow. John's in a little bit of trouble here.
And John hasn't lost in this tournament.
Ooh.
He's had a few draws, but he has not lost. And Chelsea lost.
Should black take on f3 and play his king to e5? Or should he play f5? I would take him.
Would like to get in f4.
Yeah, so maybe white should have played f4 instead. But maybe white's being tricky here because he's giving black a choice of taking on f3, which would be the good move, I think, or playing f5, which would maybe not be the good move. What do you think, Nick? Is this some kind of swindle being attempted?
Yeah, I think you're right. It gives you more options. Go f3 and let him worry.
But John is worse here in this position.
And thank you, Chemstud24, for the raid. And is that Judith? Is that someone you know? The chemistry, chemistry, or is it like a chemistry study group? Or but thank you for thinking of us, and thank you for the raid. Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
So does black have real winning chances here?
Oh, he's better.
And just because a result is in, Timu Virtanen gets the win against Keaton Kira. Here's the final position.
Wow.
And that is a big win for UC Berkeley's A team. So they got the win there. On the top board, Robert Shliaktenko is down to under 3 minutes, and this is the position.
I think there's some kind of a little bit of poetic justice in this result, but
this is a pawn up. So
look at that.
Only white can win.
White has 2 passed pawns.
Yeah, this will be tough for sure.
This is tough for Kisov. Although it's funny how black has pawn h4 maybe, right? With a threat of mate.
So just so you know, Cal is up 2-0 in this match. This game is out, and so is Ashritha's game, but they only need a half point to get the point for the match.
I see. So black didn't play pawn h4. Maybe white would have played queen g4 or something.
Yeah, this is a good active move. If queen h5, queen h1, king
And an
e4,
immediate
queen
draw.
e4.
Yeah.
Let me go on to board 3 just because.
Ooh, white threatens f6 now.
Look at this position. The 2 bishops for the rook.
The move pawn to c7 allows rook takes c7.
Tactics, yeah. I was just thinking the same thing.
Speaking of tactics, look at the end of Chelsea's game. Speaking of tactics, look at this. This is like something that you would put in a puzzle book. This is the position.
Oh.
And then tactics right there.
Is that her first loss of the tournament?
Let me look as I pull a Shriek.
She had a great tournament.
Let me look. Yeah, she did have a fantastic tournament. Because
I think it's her second loss. So she lost 2 and won 4, I think. On board 4. But she was a mainstay for the Mechanics Club.
Yeah, lost 2 and won everything else.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Ashritha's chances here? All she would need is a draw to win the match for her team.
Yeah, blockading that pawn looks very good for black.
Very, very good quality chess we're seeing in the final round, I think. Threatening rook takes c6, as Michael Walder points out. White's weak. Both players are weak on the back rank. If I'm white, I'm starting to get panicky here. Hey, Michael.
Queen to g3.
Into g3.
As it guards the rook on e1.
Queen b6, and then queen d6 or something.
Still a few tricks there.
Lots of tricks. Nobody's quite happy yet, huh? Having fun.
Puzzle rush. Let's check on Mr. Donaldson.
Yeah, that game was interesting.
Against FIDE Master Jason Liang.
Okay, he just took that pawn and he's saying, how can you get in?
Oh, so he let white take the pawn and play g5. Where's this knight going to c3, Nick? The knight is
bishop's coming to c3.
If it gets to c3, I think John's goose is cooked.
So it just needs to get to b5 without getting captured, right?
Right, yeah.
Now bishop d3, and he plays f6 to make it a kind of zugzwang.
Can you just keep that bishop on that diagonal?
Well, then knight takes e4.
Oh,
So white's going to have to go back with the king and then lose the e pawn. And then does black win the king and pawn ending? Maybe not.
He has to try that king and pawn ending, like f6, king f2, knight takes e4, king takes e4, king to e2,
And then f5.
f5, take it. Yeah.
Maybe it's a draw then. Is that a draw?
Well, John is, you'll excuse me, Paul, John is suffering.
John is suffering and black is having fun.
Black is having fun. Let's
Here we
see how
go.
quickly John played that.
interesting. And
Now, viewers, you have to excuse us. We have to root for, our old chess director, John Donaldson.
Yes.
I'm sitting in his chair right now at the Mechanics Institute. So yeah, I have to be a little bit biased on this one. And this is Jim Tarjan. We'll get back to that game, but this is his game against Emily Nguyen. They're playing Stanford University. This is the Mechanics Institute team.
Oh no. Speaking of bad bishops, but on the other hand, king c7 is in the air.
Or was in the air. Checks, king e7. Knight back to d6.
Wow. And an important result in the the second table. I have to go to that really quick. This was a draw between Robert Sliaktenko and Kesav Viswanathan. What this means is that UC Berkeley A team, just confirming it, but it looks like they defeated Alpha Zero Tech Support because Timu Virtanen and Junior Mejia won. So they win this match, and it looks like the UC Berkeley A team will take clear second in the U.S. Amateur Team West. Big result. UC Berkeley A team.
Wow, so it's a sweep for Berkeley.
Yeah, well, the A and the B team, anyway. So now the result of this board 3 doesn't have as much significance, but it looks like Ashrita is doing really well.
Oh, yeah.
But she can breathe a little bit easier because the match does not hinge on that game anymore. So fantastic job by the UC Berkeley A and B teams getting it done, and congratulations to them.
Amazing. Out of 60 plus teams, the 2 Berkeley teams finished first and second.
70 plus, yeah.
And the chief TD is wearing a Cal Bears hat. What's going on?
Not the chief TD, but big supporter.
I'm just kidding, of course.
Well, now I got to do it since you said. There we go. There we go. It was the hat. So let's we'll keep an eye on this game, but let's look at the Mechanics Institute and Kyron Griffith trying to work this out against Bryce Tiglon.
Oh, that was an interesting game. Wow, Kyron has punched his way out.
So he wins at least a pawn here. That's
Or
amazing.
another pawn, yeah. Knight d4. Rook b8.
And John McCumsky, even virtually, is still wearing the bright orange shirt so that he stands out, so everyone can ask him questions, which he loves to answer.
And Mike Walter, can I ask you, what is the R pawn? Gotta hand it to Kyron. He's just a monster lately. Look at this. Grinding it out.
Wow.
Gotta avoid some tricks here, right, Nick?
Not that many tricks, I think. It's
And just both Kyron and Jim Tarja need to win for them to draw this match, because the bottom two.
That looks like it's very likely to happen.
if the match is drawn, what position does that give the Mechanics?
I think it puts them at 4 points, which is tough because there are going to be teams at 4.5, so they would not get third place. Because we know the junior Mechanics at least have 4.5 because they won their match against the Factory.
The junior Mechanics, yes.
They beat the Factory.
I love it.
They beat the Factory.
Let's see how John Donaldson is handling his position.
Actually, if they draw this match, they actually help the junior Mechanics because the Stanford A team was a team that, with a victory, could be at 4.5. And by drawing them, they slow them down to 4 points. So I think the junior Mechanics would tie with the San Jose Chess Club Warriors. And there's a chance they may even leapfrog them in the tie breaks. So the junior Mechanics perhaps can get third place if Kyron and Jim Tarjan win their games. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Which game did you ask?
Tarjan, both Tarjan and Donaldson's games.
Let's look at John's game here.
Oh, well, tough.
Well, what happened?
Maybe John resigned.
No, it's still going.
Oh, he's still playing.
Yeah, the clock's running.
But if king to e2, king to e4 gets you in Zugzwang.
What about king f2?
Position.
King
f2, the king comes to c4.
Then king e2. King c3.
c3.
Yeah.
Oh, do I have some diabolical cheat move? Probably not. It's something like king to e2, king to e4, king to d2, king to f3, king to d3, king to f3, king to d2, king to g2, king to e2. Let him take the pawn on h3, and king f3, try to box in the black king. Maybe miracle hope. If you go king f2, he just takes the a pawn and wins.
So you
So
have to play king e2.
And just really quick, because the result is in, Jim Tarjan wins his game against Emily Nguyen. Look at that ending. If takes, cannot stop the pawn.
Oh, nice little finish.
So mechanics is looking to help the junior mechanics by getting a draw in their match. This is the game with Kyron Griffith against Bryce Tiglon.
I think Kyron had this one, or was winning. At least I thought so earlier.
And if I am correct, if Kyron wins this and they draw their match against Stanford, it opens the door for junior mechanics to take third place in the amateur team West. And I think they may leapfrog over the San Jose Warriors.
Not a lot of time left for both players. I mean,
And in the other game we were looking at, Jason Liang defeated John Donaldson here.
wow.
And this helps the junior mechanics because they got another point. They beat the factory 3.5 to half. So that'll definitely factor in their tiebreakers.
now, is that maybe drawn though? John, you shouldn't have resigned.
You
Think
think
of Chiron. It's
What, king g2?
it's
It looks lost to me, but
the analysis does say
the idea is when the
-5.
black king takes on h3, you play king f3 to box him out.
can't black just play g4, f5 and g4?
Well, you get a pass f pawn.
No,
And
but I
your
mean,
queen
just
at the
take
same
back.
time.
Just take back. Oh, I see. Well, king f2, king
No,
d3.
king d2.
I'm sorry, I got to switch to the other games because they're in the
Okay.
process of finishing.
Ooh, Chiron, that's
What's going on here?
Now you can't move that bishop there.
Threat is bishop to e7, right? Or is it? Maybe not. Rook h1 and rook b1? I don't know.
knight d2 check. King comes to g1,
Oh,
and you repeat the position.
Maybe it's
Well,
a
he'll
draw.
repeat, right? Whoa.
wow, Kyron trying to win.
He's willing to give up his bishop, or does it give up the bishop?
Well, he would take on
On b1.
b1.
So white, yeah, I see. Meanwhile, I can
But
play knight
somehow that
f3
move-
and knight f3 and knight takes e5.
Oh, well, now do it. Right.
This game is giving me a headache. And then on bishop e7, you can play knight
Oops.
d7.
Sorry about that.
And that should win, right?
Well, knight d7, rook d8,
And then king g7.
rook d7.
Oh, rook d7, yeah. Protecting the
Three
bishop.
pawns for a piece. perfect Chiron position. He can't lose. They'll play on and on. For him, the game has just begun.
This should probably be a draw, right, Nick?
Oh, clever move. Yes. Yeah, objectively a draw, but I'm just putting my money on Chiron.
Yeah, look at that. Rook F7, Rook F1, check. Come on, Chiron.
And while this is
He's
going,
so tricky.
while this is going, we do have the results of the best team name. The players themselves did have a chance to vote, and the results are in, and I will put it in the Twitch chat right there. First place goes to Please Don't Cheat. We're bad enough as it is with 22 votes. Second place with 20 votes is Check Me If You Can. And third place goes to Blundermasters.
The Blundermasters.
Blundermasters, like an oxymoron. So congratulations for those team name winners, and thank you to those who voted. And I think we do have a little prize for best team name. I can't remember what it was, but we will. You will get
Maybe
something.
we should field a team called We Are All F-Pawn.
We're all F-Pawn. Wow, got the 3 pawns here. You know, the funny thing is like Chiron is actually, he's helping himself, but he's helping the junior mechanics if he can pull this win. And Mr. G has won the best team name several times. He's always come up with Dangermanian. He's always come up with a great team name. There was one year at the Amateur West where his team name was this is his team name, Vote for Us for best team name, and I'll bring you brownies. And they made homemade brownies, him and his team, for all 260 players.
Wow.
And they gave
nice.
them out in the final round. And they were darn good. So
Chiron is going to play this out forever.
And Michael Walder is saying he ate those brownies. So you were there and had a taste of those? So anyway, so how are we looking here with the 10-second increment? It's going to be a while, right?
Ooh,
Wow.
that King F4, E5, F5 would have been very good.
Wow, this is going to be an incredible blitzing out of moves here. Hey, Alexi. She's back in the chat. Some dramatic results here.
Food bribery. So it's all in the game of chess. You know how they say it's all in the game of love? Well, it's all in the game of chess.
Food bribe. It worked, and even Mike Walder has fond memories of those brownies.
I think Kyan Griffith is trying to go for another one of those rewards.
Yeah, yeah. Another escape artist.
Oh, the Chess Journalists of America. Wow. Oh, White missed a problematic draw there. He could have played Bishop F7, Rook F7, and Rook B5, and then taken the pawn at D4. Although that would have been a little too tricky, I think. This is not a draw, right? If White took at F7 and played. Huh.
He might have lost.
Yeah, he might have lost that. Yeah, I agree.
That's a little progress now.
Well, is this it? Is White making his stand here on the E4 square?
Thanks, Alexei.
Sacrifice the bishop on E4, yes.
Yeah, I'm wondering what, I mean, how you've got to stop these pawns somewhere. Black can swing the rook around to the A file, but again.
Very tricky. So tricky once again.
Yeah. And the players have built up some time.
And in the game chat, someone had asked Josiah Stearman, who's in the game chat, as an IM, how hard would you rate this position to draw for White? He says, I probably do it 6 times out of 10, but really easy to mess it up.
Oh, now pawn to E5.
Now, will the king want to be behind those pawns, or? Oh, I guess it doesn't have to.
Come on, now it's getting because the rook comes to A3 check. It's active and
Maybe the white rook belongs behind the pawns in these situations rather than in front. I'm sort of getting that opinion or feeling watching this come out. Wouldn't the white rook be good on F8 or E8 or D8 here?
I mean, it kind of depends. Whatever will stop those pawns from advancing.
Yeah, that's some chess wisdom for you, for sure.
I know it's like a non-answer, like a politician.
No, but I mean
does,
that's I love that stuff.
But Black has everything right because that rook can come to A3 and check, can come to C3. It's maybe he should go king to C4 right away.
White was
Those pawns are like that. On to E4, and now maybe it's winning. What?
You know, White's getting forced back onto the back rank. This is tough.
I'm so happy that the pawn can come to F4.
yeah. Wow, that looks scary.
Oh, and this looks like it should be winning.
I think quite possibly Jason Liang and Rui and Nicholas Wang and all the Kevin Su, all the junior mechanics will send Kyron Griffith a box of chocolates or something, because if he wins this match, I think he'll be responsible for getting them third place. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Brownies.
Hey, that's a good move.
That's an excellent move, rookie one. Wow. Yeah.
Maybe it's just not enough. But you may be able to blockade the pawns with that one.
Rookie 3, is that enough to win?
Well, where does the king go?
Oh, rookie 3 is clever.
Now does he go rook e3?
Now rookie 3. Or he'd probably play rook c3 first. And then he can play e3 check, right?
Yeah, that was coming. Then king e2. And I'm not sure what you do there.
There was
king f6 and king e5.
There was an incredible move played in the Barbara Goodkind game that we'll show later, but in the under 1800, the two top teams drew their match. So it looks like they may tie for first and will go on tiebreakers, but when this is over, I'll show that game.
Bishop g4 here. It's got to be the only move. Don't overthink it. Or bishop
No
d5.
time for king e5.
Don't you just roll the pawns down? D3, D2?
Yeah, he's threatening bishop h7, so you probably have to go d3 here. Ooh, what happens now on bishop h7?
This is like a geometric puzzle here.
Look at that.
Rook b3.
c2. Oh no, Caron. Oh. Should have played Abel's move.
And Mike Walder, he was in the chat asking for that too.
How about rook b3 here?
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, man. You could just sense he's looking for the move.
White's put up some crazy resistance here.
This is move 97 coming.
Was such a move. Rook g8. Just make him think.
King f3 or king d3, or is the king on the perfect square? Wow, with this black rook able to go over to both sides of the board, it's just too scary. If I was white, I would probably have just resigned to stop the heart attack. So white wants to play bishop g3, and then this could be close to a draw now. Michael Walter wants to give up the rook, of course. Play rook g6.
I think, I believe this is the last game of the entire tournament.
The black king is now far away. It's like white's done everything he could do here. Maybe rook a5 was good. It looks closer and closer to a draw somehow.
Yes, once he needed that d3 check that Abel said to mobilize that d pawn.
Now maybe rook a1, yeah. Oh, yeah, king e5 can be met by rook c5 check. Now rook a1, or that.
Can there be some tricks where you play something like rook h2 and hope he takes f4 and then rook f2 check?
Maybe. I mean, black is, to make progress, black might have to pitch another pawn. It's true. Well, as long as we don't get some endgame where black loses all of his pawns and then gets tortured with rook and bishop versus rook.
So I think we're going to get a repetition soon.
Yeah, we're heading for a draw. Amazing. Well done by white.
"50 moves are coming soon." There it is. It's a
Wow.
draw by repetition. And with that, I think Stanford takes the match. So congratulations to the Stanford Cardinals defeating the Mechanics Institute in this match.
Ooh, what a game.
And that is it for the tournament. We'll wait. I think they have the final standings coming very, very soon. Because that was the last game of the tournament. Incredible game. But before we, as we're waiting for the final standings, look at this ending from the game between Barbara Goodkind and against her opponent. And Barbara was trying to win this game and would give Lady Chess Moves outright first place in the under 1800. So had a lot of complex. Oh, I'm going backwards here. Look at this. For this, we got to this position. I'll wait till we get to it on the screen, and then bam, you'll see it soon. Incredible move by white. Sort of the same tactic we were looking at earlier. Takes the rook, he'll take the queen. Had to go there, and then just delivered the mate. So,
is that called an epaulette mate?
I don't know if you know the answer to that, say it in the chat.
Epaulette mate.
But so in the under 1800, the two teams that had 4.5 drew their match. So they're at 5 points. So there's at least a draw between those two teams. I don't know if another team can catch them. So we're waiting on tie breaks there. So we are waiting on the final standings to come out.
Wow.
For this.
And who won the Tata Steel playoff?
Actually, good question.
Was that Jiri?
Oh, that was Van Foest.
Oh,
is that right? There, yeah, that was interesting to watch how I guess Fallujah had no chance to win the tiebreak.
Or participate in the tiebreak.
Yeah, or participate in the tiebreak. So they started
But
it.
he drew his game anyway, so
Yeah.
he was half a point behind.
Right.
And the final standing should be up soon. And
Hey, Juan Centejas.
hey, Chessing Fronteras.
Hey, Juan!
He was one of our TDs in the Zoom.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, yesterday and today. So thank you, Juan. Saludos.
Saludos.
Muchas gracias por la ayuda.
I miss you guys.
Yeah, he's always part of our Tuesday night crew. And waiting on we know that UC Berkeley Team B are the champions. We also know UC Berkeley Team A finished in second. Pretty sure about that. The question is who finished third, and I think it might be the junior mechanics on tie breaks. It might be. But it could also be the San Jose Chess Club Warriors. So
it was a Bay Area.
And it might be Stanford, because they got 4.5 also, I believe. So we'll see.
It was a real Bay Area party.
It was a Bay Area party. And, I mean, the strength of these teams was just absolutely crazy. So to win this one was one heck of a... I mean, you got to go through a gauntlet of teams. I mean, gosh. I mean, the team averages of so many teams were like 2180 or higher. I mean, it's just brutal. And the B team, unbelievable. Perfection, 6 out of 6. And they got some breaks when they needed it. I mean, the final round got a mouse slip that helped. And
I mean, did they study for that mouse slip?
they put that little oil on the mouse, right? On their opponent's mouse to cause that little slip. We'll announce the tentative winner soon, and we may even have some members of the winning team say hey real quick. But we're waiting till we have the tentative final standings. We're also we'll have the final standings after we do a fair play review. But Dr. Ken Regan is reviewing the games immediately. He reviewed all of yesterday's games. They came out clean, and we will be sending him the games tonight. But we will know right away. He said he would turn those games around quick. So thank you also to Dr. Ken Regan, who really helps us out, especially in an event of this magnitude, to make sure that we get the results. And I keep refreshing the page. If you are in the Twitch chat, I'm going to put the link up. This is the link that will have the updated... Oh, that's not it. That's the Chess Cafe. This is the link that will have the updated standings when it's ready. Right there, U.S. Amateur Team West. And amazing games and an amazing tournament. And could not have it gone any smoother, I don't think. The round started on...
And so, Abel, apparently everybody was just playing honorably and for fun and such, respected the event.
And respected the event. I mean, we had to warn and correct a couple of people that I think may have been unintentionally in violation of the rules, but the TDs were on it. We may have one or two where we had to give a stern warning. But at the end of the day, everything was fair and upright, at least in the first 3 rounds. And we shall soon see for the remaining 3. But the Zoom TDs, they work hard and they're on it, and especially in the Discord, because people would report things that look suspicious to us, and the TDs would investigate it. A lot of work goes in, and so hats off to the TDs that worked this weekend. Jitten and Juan Sendejas and Brian Yang. He's right on top with the rules and monitoring the Zoom. Aaron Thompson and Arthur Liu. Tom Brownscombe, everyone. There's a lot of people working behind the scenes, just keeping everything straight and right. So thank you to everyone, and of course Judith, always in there making sure everything is happening as it should. And I know John McCumsky and Judith are double checking the results. So don't be surprised if this takes a few minutes, because they go through everything. They look to make sure everything looks correct. They spot check it. So everyone doing their due diligence, which we appreciate. So what'd you guys think? Amateur West,
great event.
Amateur team online. I felt we really captured the essence of it, even though it's online.
Absolutely.
A lot of great games.
Yeah, a lot of fun games. A great mix of old and young players, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that especially, like seeing the kids. A lot of women playing, more than I've seen, I think, in any tournament. And excuse me if I'm wrong, but I think I've never seen so many women playing in a tournament.
And Judith saying that the reserve section has been checked. Now we're doing the championship section. So we have the final results in the under 1800, and now we're doing the champions. And Juan Sendejas from Chess Sin Fronteras is saying that we made the participants feel like they were in an over-the-board event. I hope so, because I think that's what we were going for. Obviously, we're not trying to say we can copy it, but I think the feeling was there. The fun that is the amateur team championship, but like I said, I think we captured that. I mean, I think something's lost when you do a tournament that has automatic pairings. It just feels like a robot's running the show. When we're interacting with everyone and starting the tournament, all of that, it just really gives the feeling of an over the board.
Yeah, I don't know. Alexi's asking me. I mean, it's just I don't know how many women played in this tournament, but it just seemed like a lot to me. I comment on these things, and this just seemed like a lot of women played.
Hey, there's one of the heroes, Nathan Fong.
What's up, y'all? Judith told me to join the broadcast, so
yeah, fantastic. So congratulations. That was crazy. I mean, we were feeling the pressure, and we were just talking about it. We can't imagine what it was like for you. What was it? Tell us the in-game experience. Like, what? I mean, is your heart pounding? Are you nervous or what?
Yeah. Okay. So my heart rate was like consistently way higher than it usually is. So it was pretty stressful on that end. But I think for the most part, I was just focusing on playing my game. Like, this is no different than a Tuesday night marathon, which I've been playing a couple of recently. It's just kind of, you do your thing, you play the best move in the position. And I think the only time that like the whole match situation or the tournament situation got to me was in the last two rounds, because that's when I was like, wait a second, we could do this. And so I'm sure you guys were following the round 5 games, and you saw the horrific mess that was that end game, and I was feeling the pressure. I like couldn't think. I was just kind of playing moves off of instinct. And then in round 6, oh sorry, go ahead.
No, so it does seep in when you say like, wow, we're like on the precipice, as
for sure.
Paul likes to say.
It was worse because the match was tied 1.5, and mine was the last game, and so I was very much just like, oh my gosh, I have to win. If I don't win, we draw. Like, draw is fine, of course, draw is draw. But I was really feeling the pressure, I pushed a little too hard. I was losing at one point. I got pretty fortunate at the end.
And one of the things we were talking about as we were like following the match is, when you see a result happen somewhere, you start thinking about how should this affect my play, right? Is that something that actually goes on when you're looking at results and positions and sort of evaluating how you'll play?
It probably doesn't. Like for the IMs, the top players of the field, it probably doesn't matter too much. But I was paying attention to it a lot, and I don't know if you were following the finals match, but I offered a draw on like move 11 or 12, like an implicit draw, like a repetition. And the reason I did that was because I realized we only needed a draw to win the match, and it looked like other people were doing fine. And my opponent declined, which kind of made sense. And then at some points, like really quickly in, we saw like that mouse flip that happened, and so our boy 3 won very quickly.
We were watching that game live when it happened.
That's brutal.
And we were like, "Whoa, what?" Something.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah, we happened to be on that game as it happened, and we're like, "Oh my gosh!" But it kind of felt that having that that gift, that luck, like sort of, that had to have taken like a little bit of pressure out, because at the time I had predicted when we started the broadcast that boards 2 and 3 were going to be really crucial.
Yeah, for sure. I was looking at Ryan's game, and I saw that, like, when I saw the results 1-0 come in for Chris, I was looking at Ryan's game, and I saw that it was Queen Bishop in 6 versus like Queen Bishop in 6, and I was like, okay, this is probably a draw. And so that meant that I knew that in my game, if I drew the game, then we win the tournament overall. And so then I was thinking, okay, I can just find some perpetual, make a draw. I don't have to go crazy and try to force a win here. I mean, I guess I never really did at any point have to force the win. But then I saw the tactic, and I was like, okay, I might as well just play this. And
want to give a quick shout out to Play Lion Chess, who just gave us a raid, and a nice shout out. And Arjun is in the chat, and I've known Arjun for a few years when he was playing in the South Bay, and he had a fantastic finish in one of his games. I think this was round 5.
Yeah.
Queen G8, and we were watching that. I'm like, wow, that's like awesome.
Yeah, that was a strange round because it was Cal playing Cal, of course, right? And Arjun and Timu, they're like good friends.
Civil
they were
War.
teammates back in 2018.
Yeah. And what one of the things when we were talking about when you guys clinched and you were going to win the title, we're just seeing like, man, you guys are like a huge team. I mean, look at how many teams participated, and you have like an organized club that meets on campus right? And then you have your online community, and even after the Pan Am, you guys were doing your game of the week of different players. It's like you guys have a lot of people to train with. Like how much?
For sure.
How much does that play into your guys' development?
Oh, it's definitely awesome. I mean, first of all, it means that we can make really amazing teams for this, right? You find and mix and match the right people. But I mean, it's really cool to have a community of other people who are willing to play this stuff, right? It's not like a team where there's maybe 2 strong players and that's kind of it. I mean, we have so many, like 2,000 plus players, and I think even for Amateur Team West, there were like 5, I want to say, 2,000 plus players that just didn't play. Either they didn't want to.
Yeah, I know Ladia was one of them.
Yeah, Ladia, Roland,
right,
like Daniel Lin, Kareem Panaganti, like, and James Marsh.
That's right.
Yeah, like that's another team right there. We could have brought 7 if there were more people who registered.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're just thankful to have this team. We want to keep it going, and a lot of us are graduating, so.
Oh, wow. And one of the things that was special, at least for me, and I know for Judith, is so many of the players that are on your team are people that we've seen develop since they were probably even in elementary school. Especially players like Ryan, we've known since he was like a lot younger, and we've seen Timu develop, and Kesav, and and a lot of you guys, Ladia. It's like it's fun for us. Like, can't believe like some of you guys are in college, and it's awesome, and especially for me, obviously. I mean, my alma mater is to see everyone going there and playing chess. Because when I was there was no chess there, like whatsoever. So it's just great to see just everyone sort of flourishing, and we know all of you are going to be great in something other than chess, and it's just nice to see you guys develop and form a camaraderie and community through chess, and you're going to be doing great things in other areas and other fields, and it's sort of fun to be for us to be along the ride with you guys and see what you guys do in the future. It's a lot of fun.
For sure, thank you. I mean, hopefully we'll be back next year, and hopefully this doesn't stop. So.
No, not at all, and especially for Ryan, because he was part of the winning team last year.
He was telling us, yeah.
Yeah, so now he's going back to back.
I think he said that he won the year before too, so this is 3 in a row.
That is right. He's 3 in a row, and with different teams.
I have a question. Can the Berkeley team enter the Amateur North
We were talking about this, yeah. I think
tournament as well, and then win it, and then
They'll have to go through the second place because they can't. Okay, well, we're gonna get a bye because we won both two of the.
Well, we were
Right.
thinking if we sent different people to those tournaments, like, would we still be allowed to win? And I think you would. Like, if it wasn't the same, Ryan, Arjun, Chris, and myself, I think a different team could play. So
Yeah.
then I was thinking, okay, like, if our A team goes, our A team is really, really strong. Kesov played really, really well for not having played in a while. Ashrita's playing really well this whole year. And I mean, Junior's pretty
And-
underrated at 1600.
And we have the final standings.
Okay.
And I'll announce it here. UC Berkeley Team B obviously are the champions of the West. Perfect 6 out of 6. UC Berkeley Team A is second place with 5 out of 6. Sole second place. And we have a 3-way tie for third, but on tie breaks, third place goes to Stanford University Team A at 4.5. Fourth place goes to the Junior Mechanics. And in fifth place on tie breaks, tied for third, is the San Jose Chess Club Warriors. Sixth place, UC Berkeley Team C with 4 points, tying
Wow.
with the Floorboards, FLOHR. And then in eighth place is Alpha Zero Tech Support with 3.5. The Factory in ninth place, and the Mechanics Institute in 10th with 3.5. And all those the full standings on the team page. But let me go to the under 1800 and announce that a tie for first place with 5 out of 6 with 100% lady chess moves and ran out of tranquilizer pills. They played to a draw in the final round, but first place on tie breaks. Congratulations to 100% lady chess moves. The good kinds and their team win the under 1800. And the Cheerios finished in third place with 4.5.
Cheerios.
The Cheerios. Cheerio, everyone. So that is the results. These results are tentative and pending fair play review. Like we said, Dr. Ken Regan screened all the first 3 rounds. They were clear. He said as soon as we send him the games, he'll turn it around really quick. But dude, congratulations, man! I'm so proud of all you guys.
Thank you, and thank you so much to all the staff that made this possible. I know there were like a dozen tournament directors. There's the 3 of you on commentary, and everyone else working behind the scenes. I really appreciate it.
And how was it for you guys in using Discord? Because it was a lot of fun actually interacting through that. We were talking about all kinds of stuff, food. We were
Yeah,
talking about.
I mean, Discord has been great. I think there's a lot of online tools that we've been using, from Zoom to Discord to even Twitch. So it's really cool to see everybody.
And Nathan, you were awesome because you're sort of educating Judith and I a little bit on how to use Discord. He was literally giving us a tutorial. Okay, click here, you do this, and
yeah, I learned a lot of it from actually setting up the UC Berkeley Discord. 'Cause our
Is
chess
that right?
club has been meeting, not like regularly, but yesterday we hopped on to go over some of the games, and there were a bunch of us in there. So yeah, it's been really good to stay connected. It's been a lot of fun.
so hang on with us because let's see if we can get John McCumsky and Judith in here
Sure.
to join, just so we can do a quick wrap up. And people should see the Chief TD and the Chief Organizer and show their faces. What I'm gonna, let's just take the board out because
Sure. Abel, do you want me to hop off, or should I stick around?
stick around.
Alrighty, we'll do.
There we go. We'll just, I'm doing my little surgery on the board here. I'm gonna take our names out so we can make some room. But, and one of the things that stood out to me, even differently than the Pan Am, was, the quality and the excitement of some of these games was just incredible. I mean, it was like nonstop action. And
What about the night games?
Oh my God!
That was just extraordinary.
2 nights against a rook, like all over the place.
Oh my goodness, yeah, there was a 2 nights against Rook game in round 5 that I totally should have lost.
You were one of them. That's
Another
right.
too.
And the other one
That's
was Ashrita. I think she was trying to navigate that. So
And that deserves a chess column all of its own. those
You
two
should
names.
write it, Paul, for
Maybe if you send me the games,
oh yeah, for sure.
I could try to think of something amusing to say about it. Two knights versus a rook. It
And
was fun. It was fun to play over, to watch.
and
Yeah, it was probably fun for you and really nerve-wracking for all of us. But
Right, right.
and here we have Chief Tournament Director John McCumsky, and true to form, what he said in the chat, wearing his bright orange as he always does in tournaments. John, thank you for everything. I know doing the pairings it's a tough job. You're not allowed to make any mistakes, and you kept it solid. Thank you very much. And I don't know if John's. Are you muted?
John, are you muted?
Thank you. My pleasure. I probably have a little bit of lag here with your.
Oh yeah, no problem. He definitely has lag.
Judith. Hello, Judith.
And
Congratulations.
Chief Organizer Judith Stare. Thank you, Judith.
Thanks, guys. Okay, let me see.
And
So I'm still posting results on the Google Sheet.
and what was the experience like for you, Judith? Because I know there were so many things going on. Answering questions in Discord, answering questions in the Zoom calls, just nonstop answering questions. I know Nathan was, any player that was part of the Zoom saw it firsthand. What was it like?
Well, I mean, it's certainly someone on Discord asked which we like better, online or over the board, and I think everything has its advantages and disadvantages. I mean, we don't have to travel. I mean, if this was an over the board event, we would have to pack up right now, bring back the sets and everything, and then go home. And I would probably get home at around midnight, right? So that part is nice, that I can go out and have some dinner with my family, and then that's it. But at the same time, I mean, we miss everyone, and we can't interact in person, and there's so much work going on to avoid cheating or try to prevent cheating. So it's different. I think the players were really great. I think with their help, this event was a success. I mean, it wouldn't have been a success if they weren't reading the emails and following instructions. So big, huge thank you for the players, because with their help, we could make this event possible. So.
And it just seems like, everyone was pretty understanding of like some of the challenges, and I mean, everyone was pretty cooperative in what they needed to do to make the online event happen.
Yep.
And and there's three more. One of the things we were talking about with Nathan is like, what do you do if like UC Berkeley sends a team of 4 different players that won to the north and they win it? Do those 4 players also play? So UC Berkeley A wins the north and UC Berkeley Team B wins the west.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I don't know if they're gonna implement the same rules as the President's Cup, that even though you won the first couple of places, right, you can only send one team.
Right. And then what would happen if the exact 4 players went and won the north? Like, do they get a bye? Right.
There's a precedent with this. Carlson played in the elimination matches for the World Championship when he was the world champion.
Wow.
Remember that? I mean, he should, to my mind, he shouldn't have been allowed to play. But
Well, and if he wins that tournament, I'm like, that's it, right? That is it. I don't have to play a championship match.
he gets to play himself.
So.
Yeah, but you guys definitely should try it, and I know the U.S. Amateur Team North will be very, very similar. I know that the East and the South will be on ICC, but the North will be on chess.com, and Glenn is planning it very similarly like us. So I think if you like this setup, I think North is your event to play.
And John, what was it like for you? Kind of TDing in the back room virtually, all the same, or were there some challenges to it?
We can't hear you. Yes.
Sorry about that. I temporarily muted myself. One of the bigger challenges is, trying to communicate with the other staff members, because, you don't have that face-to-face interaction when there's problems. But on the other hand, the staff was busy taking care of, everything that needed to be taken care of. So I didn't have to, worry about what was going on for the most part. We had a couple of things that we had to chat back and forth about, but pretty much I was able to sit here and focus in on just making sure I got the results right, and getting the stuff turned around as quickly as I could. I think we got all the rounds started on time,
Yeah.
which to me is always a big deal.
Well, and it was pretty funny because we purposely delayed the final round time just to give us enough time to reconcile all the results and make sure everything was right. There were some people that didn't get the message, so they were in Discord. Oh, so the round's going to be delayed, and Judith's in there. No, it's not going to be delayed. I told everyone yesterday that it was going to start later. One thing she does not want to hear that she's late.
For that, I think we had everything ready before 4 o'clock, anyways.
Yeah,
Or
exactly. So
real close
it
to
just
it,
gave us
so.
a breathing room.
Yeah. I mean, it gave us a little bit of time to sit and just make sure that the pairings were okay. And fortunately, when we did the last 3 rounds with the team restrictions turned off, we had nothing to change on the natural pairings. The natural pairings didn't pair any 2 teams from the same place together, anything like that. It flowed, so it made it really simple.
That's nice when that happens. No controversy.
And for people to understand, one thing I learned from John over the years during the team tournaments is that pairings for the last few rounds are really crucial. So we always get together in person and discuss the pairings. And I was ready, like in Pan Am's, right, ready to jump on a Zoom call with John and discuss the pairings. And every time, there's really nothing to discuss because it was pretty simple. And I checked it, and everything went good. So.
And I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize, that like this goes through checks and double checks, and just thank you for your thoroughness. Just you make everything look easy, but it's a lot of work to get there. So
yeah, there was a quality check after every round when I finished putting in the results. Send them to Judith. She'd do the double check just to make sure that I hadn't screwed something up, and it works out very well.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Everything just felt right and felt smooth, and it felt right for UC Berkeley for sure. Taking clear first and clear second.
You know what?
This is amazing.
I missed seeing Elliot Winslow play Michael Walter.
Yeah. Hey, you got a break from that this weekend. you didn't have to like deal with that. So
one thing that was nice for me was during the whole tournament, when you guys started doing your Twitch broadcasts, I just have you on in the background while I was doing my stuff, so I could listen to what your commentary was about things that were going on. So that was kind of nice.
And then
That's fun.
I couldn't have done that in a live tournament.
And then when we say something that catches you, you saw you jumped into the chat and commented. So that's a lot of fun. Well,
Yeah.
For everybody watching, I just want to give a very special thank you to all the tournament directors that worked hard the last 2 days, given their time monitoring the cameras. It is a lot of work, so thank you to all of them. Tom Brownscombe, Jitin Patel, Juan Sendejas, Aaron Thompson,
Brian Yang.
Brian Yang, he's amazing because he's in the Discord just answering any kind of rule question there is. Just boom. Just giving it. And Arthur Liu also helping out. And thanks, John McCumsky. You're such a pro and an expert in these, and just love your expertise. And thank you
very much
for working the tournament. And Judith's amazing.
And also a big shout out to Sam Soikev. He's the youngest national TD in the U.S. and we had the pleasure of having him on the staff too. So it was a lot of fun having him.
And
What about Reika Story?
Reika was busy. The competition stole her.
Okay.
So.
I thought she was the youngest.
Oh yeah.
She's not an NTD. She's not an NTD yet.
Oh, okay.
She was set to break Sam's records, but pandemic happened. So.
And just while I'm here, just thank you to Paul and Nick for doing the commentary. I know it's a grind. We're running on fumes a little bit, but we got it done. And
I think the chess makes it fun. I mean, Nick and I don't have much at stake. We just get to marvel at these beautiful chess moves and, Rook D1.
and then
Go to Bermuda
it's
to
a
train
show.
for the amateur team South, you said?
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, maybe. And then I think I opened the door to back out of it. So Nick, Paul, myself, and Judith thought about playing the amateur South as a team. So
Let's see. I mean,
we'll see.
it's always
We'll
fun.
see. As soon as I open the door on the broadcast, like, maybe not. Judith immediately types in, yeah, if you don't want to do it, that's fine with me. And then Paul's all like, yeah, I'm fine if we don't do it. So, but
If you haven't played it, it is an interesting experience. It's been a long time since I did. I think it was 1988 when it was in Southern California, but it's a hoot to play in.
I've never done it. I've never played in it where I played every round. I've played in it. I was happy and honored last year. I played for UC Berkeley one round on a Shreethas team.
Hey, but didn't we play at one of the events?
Oh, we did!
Yeah, we did.
Judith-
we flipped every round, but I think we did play.
Judith-
one.
I have a game against you from 2018. I think we played in round 1, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, 3 years ago.
That's
yeah.
right. And guess who I lost to in that round?
Yeah.
I lost to
Are you even arguing?
Timu. Timu.
Timu.
Yeah.
Yes, and I remember you were board 4 that time.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
hey,
didn't
hey,
do
hey,
that.
hey, where's your development? You're still board 4.
I have a great team of 2,200
No,
that can carry me.
you got a stacked team over there. So
Anyway, let's let John go. He worked
Yeah,
really hard today, and
Yeah,
I think
I
all
got
of us
teams
need to
tomorrow,
go. I'm in
so-
San Francisco. I got to make the drive back to San Jose. So, everyone, thank you for joining us for the U.S. Amateur Team West. It is done. UC Berkeley Team B are the champions of the West. UC Berkeley.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to them.
congratulations, guys.
And
And
here's
I think we're going to try to arrange an interview with all 4 of you so that we can record that and put it up on the net so
For sure.
that others can join us too, and hopefully we can all have the whole team.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. So, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for everyone watching, and congratulations to all the players. We hope everyone had fun, and thank you for being a part of the Mechanics Institute. And on that note, we are signing off. Let's get some rest, everybody. We'll raid the Curly Queen. We'll send everyone there. And
Always check it might be made.
have a good night.